So, the simplest thing you can do is either put a shed over these units and have it installed in a shed, very simple tin shed like a garden shed, and some sort of lean-to. Let's keep it dry to rain and sun. This maple system a lot more reliable, a lot less maintenance costs. None of this is bolted down. To you. Most companies will just supply a contactor that will turn on and off. Quite often they fail to remember that the flow switch should be wide in circuit on a timer. There's a couple of schools of thought on the flow switch. Either when if they haven't got the pressure switch working on turning it on and off, they might use the flow switch to turn it off if there's no flow. The pressure switch hasn't turned it off. Flow switches don't quite work like that. They need a timer in circuit to turn the contactor either on or off, depending on how you got it set up. So you do have to have a think about it. Typically the flow switch is there to protect the pump from running dry. So if the pump starts and it's running and there's no flow, then you want the flow switch to turn it off. The only way you can do this is have a timer in there so it allows the pump to run and build pressure and flow. After a certain period of time it doesn't flow, the timer times out, drops the contactor out. Typically you want to latch this out and they'd have to come out, down and reset it, which is the black button we've got here, and the red light indicates it's faulted. We've also got a thermal overload in there, and we hook the thermal overload up to the light. If the thermal overload trips, it'll put the light on as well. Thermal overload typically trips when the pump is burnt out, or the pump could actually be full of mud, or drag some string or something in there. It'll jam it up and the thermal overload will trip because the pump can't turn anymore. It'll draw too much current. This one we've actually got a bypass switch, so if our pressure switch or flow switch fails, we can actually turn him on, bypass the switches to get the pump to run and give us water pressure. There you have it. Got an isolator. Always isolate the system if you're going to work on it.